Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Bill Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. Salute the entire LDBC. I'm just gonna go straight to the point, so forget the pleasantries, okay? I heard about what happened to Rayshard Brooks, you know what I mean? And I heard a number of the brothers, in the LDBC, Questex, Two Raw for TV, Santee Walton, all them good brothers out there that voiced their anger about this. I was gonna do a video about it yesterday, but I was too emotionally spent and I didn't want to say anything outlandish that would get me into trouble. So I needed time to calm down and think. And now I'm pretty much ready to talk about it. This needs to end. We are to the point right now in this country where we need to strongly force legislation to defund the police, to change the entire format of the police and demilitarize the police. All right. We need to voice our disdain and anger against the police because right now, what is happening here is we're seeing more and more, you know, our brothers, our black brothers, getting killed, getting severely beaten up at the hands of police. All right. Now, what happened to Rayshard Brooks of Atlanta on Friday night? Okay, Mr. Brooks was basically falling asleep in his car. Apparently, I think he was apparently drunk, and he was going to try to go to sleep, take a quick nap to try to at least get himself maybe coherent or something. All right, and what happened was that somebody decided to call up the police. You know what I mean? And then after being administered through a sobriety test and a breathalyzer test, the two officers pretty much, kept messing with him and then they decided to handcuff him. At which point, their body cams basically shut off. I don't know if they decided to shut off. I don't know if it fell off, but that's unimportant. So then afterwards, what I saw from the security camera feed was Mr. Mr. Brooks was basically struggling to the ground and he was being, assaulted by these two officers. Then Brooks grabbed the taser and breaks free from the officers and began to run away. Then once Brooks, was going through the drive-through window, okay, he pulls out the taser again and continues to running before he got shot in the back. Okay. He was pretty much taken to the hospital where he basically died during surgery. All right. When I heard about this, I was just mad. I just could not take it anymore. It is really, we're still dealing with what happened to George Floyd back in Memorial Day last month in Minneapolis, and people are still mad about what's going on around here. But this has become a bigger and bigger issue that the country cannot ignore anymore. All right. Here's my point to this. We need to stop giving away our votes for free. All right. The Democrats assume now that they can rely on the black vote, that most of the black people can just vote Democrat at any given time. We need to start looking at these candidates and start looking at who's going to benefit for the betterment of black people. All right. Defund the police, restructure them. All right. We need to put more stiffer penalties on these officers to let them know that you cannot continue to hurt black people every day. All right. I'm not trying to yell or anything like that, but you can feel the anger that's coming out of my words here. This is becoming a bigger issue with each passing day, and more officers are committing more horrible acts against black people, and it's becoming more egregious with each passing day. There is no way you could tell me that any of these deaths were absolutely justified. You can't. It's only a matter of time because listen, what power does to everybody, power makes people corrupt and it makes them feel like they're invincible. And trust me what I tell you, and it's only a matter of time. And this is the message to all the white races are out there in the country. It's only a matter of time before the officer starts committing the same acts to you, because there's no limit to what these officers can do. None. the bar of limits is now beyond reached. All right. It is going to get to a point where these atrocities are going to get more and more egregious, and more officers are going to start killing more and more innocent people. And then it is going to start forcing people to very, very voice their disdain and force change. All right. Protesting and peaceful protest is good, but it's not enough. We need to start enforcing these politicians to start defunding the police and start restructuring the cops. All right. When I was there at the Black Lives Matter protest in Minneapolis, when Jacob Frey was basically excused out of there, all right. Remember, Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, basically said that he wouldn't support defunding the police, and man, did they gave him the business. All right, they gave him the business. They booed him, and this one woman said to get the F out of there. That's what she said. That's what she said. And you know what? I have no problem for what that person said or what they did. None whatsoever. I'll be honest here. When I was a bit of a youngster at that time, I was kind of, a little bit ignorant about what was going on in this country. But as I gotten older, my mind and the things around me have changed everything. All right. I've known what's been going on with these officers, but the fact that this continues to escalate even further, even now, is beyond ridiculous. I'll tell you this though. When I talk to my family members out in Europe, they would ask me, "What is America like?" There was one particular cousin that asked me, "What is it like in America?" And I will not lie to you. It took me almost a day. I messaged her back. I said, "Let me think about it and I'll tell you about it tomorrow." And I just let on the truth. I said, right now, America is in a very, very bad place because racism is much more exposed, much more out there, more out in the open. And there's no denying that. And lots of people that I've talked with who basically visit there, they pretty much said that America's racism is beyond what they've never ever seen before. All right. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what these officers have been doing to black people for ages. And for all the ignorant people that pretty much say, "Oh, it doesn't matter, you gotta listen to these officers." Feel our pain of 400 plus years before you come back and talk to us. Don't try to play no side swiping games. Don't try to be ignorant about it. Feel our pain first before you basically talk to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm done. Enough is enough. All right. These deaths are becoming more and more ridiculous. And I am just tired of this. I'm just like to the point now where I feel like I just want to go out there and do something, because it's just like we can't sit here and let this continue on anymore. At some point in this country, there's going to be one deeply severe incident that is going to push these politicians in Washington to go further with defunding the police. But you know what, though? This is going to take bringing in better candidates that's going to benefit the embetterment of black people and forcing the agenda of defunding the police and bringing on stiffer penalties to make sure that these officers know what the consequences are if you mess around with black people. You know how the LGBT community were able to push their agenda, and now you pretty much say anything egregious to them, and then the LGBT mafia will come over to you and pretty much ruin your entire life. That's exactly what we need to do when it comes to these kind of situations. When it comes to black people, we need to put the fear of us into them, because that way they know if they mess with us that there's going to be major consequences to that. I can tell you right now, the officers, they don't fear what's going on. Some of them don't even care what happened to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and now Rayshard Brooks. They don't care. They just pretty much think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. You know what I mean? We can pretty much do what we want. It don't matter to us. All right. We're powerful than them. That's how most of these officers think. And some of the good officers are not doing enough to basically put the pressure on the backups to basically resign from the positions or basically take responsibility for their actions. That's what's going on around here. All right. I'm a proud black man. I love my ethnicity. As you see, as the Eritrean symbol on the right hand corner of your screen, I'm proud of who I am. All right. And the thing is, I will never change of who I am, and I'm never going to be ashamed of my skin color. All right. But we need to start taking pride within ourselves, and we need to start fighting for our survival. All right. Because until that happens, these kind of crimes are going to continue. More and more innocent people are going to get hurt or going to get killed. And there's going to be more stories like Rayshard Brooks and George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Rashana Taylor, I would say Breonna Taylor. A lot more stories are going to come out of the woodwork. And I'm telling you, it is only going to get worse from here on in. So protect yourselves, all right? But tell me what you guys think.